Vikings linebacker Chad Greenway helped a couple out of a dangerous boating situation on Lake Minnetonka. Kerry Chow joined by ESPN Vikings reporter Ben Goessling. Ben, what happened out there?
Well, it sounded basically like there was a couple out on the lake yesterday. The water on the lakes here has been extraordinarily high because of all the rain we've had and all the snow melting from the winter, and you add that to the fact that it was a pretty windy day, led to a kind of difficult boating conditions yesterday. So they basically were out testing their boat for the first time, and the boat started kind of spinning towards the spillway where all the water, the excess water goes, and that's obviously not something you want to hit. That could have been a pretty dangerous situation. And Chad, I think, was nearby with his two kids and just happened to see it and hopped in the water in his shorts to help kind of guide their boat to a safer spot to get it out of the way. And there happened to be a local news camera that was already there doing a story on the high water levels and happened to see the whole thing. So obviously it got recorded, and he talked about it a little bit afterwards. He just kind of matter-of-factly said, you know, it looks like a dangerous situation, and I thought I'd go and help out. And the guy told him afterwards that the guy that was of the couple said he was a Bears fan, so Greenway kind of had some fun with that. So good thing he told me that later on. But, yeah, he basically kind of came and helped them out, made sure that they got back to the car safely, and made sure that the boat got taken out of harm's way pretty quickly.
You wrote that Greenway was maybe the perfect person to be in that situation. Why is that?
Well, number one, he's from this area. He grew up in a small town on a farm in South Dakota. And, you know, kind of obviously grew up working with his hands, grew up kind of learning how to be handy and how to handle a situation like that, and how to be resourceful in situations like that. Just kind of things you learn, real practical things you learn on a farm. And obviously that doesn't translate directly to water necessarily, but I think just that attitude of that situational awareness of saying, okay, this is what's going on, I don't need to panic, here's what you need to do, and understanding what needed to happen there. And obviously now he lives near there, and I assume has watercraft of his own, and is pretty comfortable in that situation. So some of it is just being from this area and being good with your hands and being resourceful and that kind of thing, but it's also just he's part of the community here. I mean, he was, like I said, born in South Dakota, played college football in Iowa, and lives here year-round. His kids go to school here, and he's been very much a part of this community for a long time. It's just kind of an attitude here. I mean, you hear about Minnesota nice, and it's kind of a cliche, but there is sort of an attitude of if you see somebody stranded on the road or having trouble, you pitch in and help. It's just kind of what you do. It's not necessarily something that you get patted on the back for. It's just kind of part of being a good neighbor, and I think he, being from this area, kind of understands that. So in a lot of ways, I mean, there were probably other players that would have helped out and would have done the same thing. I have no doubt you would have found other players that did the same thing. But just to have somebody that did it that effortlessly and just kind of understood what to do, he obviously, his upbringing kind of makes him the perfect fit to be in that situation.
Yeah, and hopefully he converted that Bears fan, huh?
Yeah, the guy seemed pretty matter-of-fact. He said, I'm just going to tell it like it is, but I'm sure when the Bears play the Vikings, he'll have a special spot in his heart for Greenway just because, yeah, I mean, obviously that could have been a dangerous situation, both for them and their new boat. So in a lot of ways, it was good that Chad was there and able to help out like he did.
Absolutely. ESPN Vikings reporter Ben Goessling. Ben, thanks.
Thank you.
Kerry Chow with the latest ESPN headline.